Makalikasang araw and glad to see all of you again here sa Kamayan Forum ng Green Convergence. At bago po ang lahat, please allow me to introduce myself. I am David D'Angelo, the Public Relations Officer of Green Convergence. And I'm very excited to be the co-moderator for the 430th Kamayan Session Team from Crisis to Opportunity, Accelerating Renewable Energy. And ayun nga, from the title itself, mainit itong topic na ito, especially now na malawak na at malala na ang epekto ng giyera sa Israel, US at Iran. Na ngayon ay global conflict at talaga namang sobra-sobra na ang epekto sa krisis na kinakaharap natin sa langis at enerhiya. So it is important na malaman natin kung ano ba. Meron pa bang mga paraan upang malagpasan ang krisis na ito na nararanasan natin? Yan ang mga tatalakayin natin ngayong hapon. At bago po ako magpatuloy, hayaan ipakilala ko sa inyo ang aking co-moderator ngayong hapon, the Media and Communications Officer of Green Convergence, Marian Luisa Palo. Makakalikasang araw sa iyo, Marian.
Yes, makakalikasang araw, Sir David, at makakalikasang araw sa ating lahat. Welcome once again sa ating Kamayan para sa Kalikasan Forum brought to you by Green Convergence. And yes, we are now on our 430th session, no? And it is with the theme From Crisis to Opportunity, Accelerating Renewable Energy. And tama si Sir David, no? This afternoon's discussion is very timely and relevant. Kasi Diyos ko po, damang-dama na natin talaga mga Pilipino ang hirap sa pagtugon ng krisis sa langis at enerhiya, no? And it's not just us, it's a chain reaction globally due to the so-called forever war caused by Israel, US, and Iran. And because of this, the cost of living has skyrocketed as well. So yeah, we really need to urgently find ways to navigate through these challenges together, no? Papasok na dito ang usapin ng renewable energy and other key actions that both companies and citizens can do to stay afloat amid the oil and energy crisis. And of course, Green Convergence has invited eminent resource speakers and experts to really delve into these. So we invite all of you to participate in the discussions. Share this live stream on your timeline. We are live on Facebook. Tag your friends and invite them to join in the conversation. Back to you, Sir David.
Grabe, no? Grabe na yung presyo ng diesel. Talagang umabot na 140. Tapos dito lang sa amin, parang yung LPG, 1,400 na. So talaga namang tama lahat ng sila yung Marian, no? I look forward to today's discussion kasi gustong-gusto ko malaman ano ba yung pwede nating magawa, no, sa crisis na ito at sana hindi ito dead end para sa ating lahat. Before we start, let's greet our participants muna. So when I call your sector, click the react option in your Zoom screens and drop your heart reactions para naman ma-recognize po namin kayo. So, sino po pa-heart react naman dyan sa mga taga-academe sector? Meron po ba tayong taga-academe sector? Ayun.
Ayun.
Steven, yan. Ayan po. Oh,
Yes.
si
Good
Tia.
afternoon.
Si Miles. Talagang thumbs up. Ayan. Sino naman po yung from the media? Media.
Good
Heart
afternoon
react
po.
naman ng ating mga kababayan at taga-media. Next po ay church, mga taga-simbahan. Ayan. Pa-heart react po. Ang ating mga taga-business sector. Ayan. Magandang makalikasang hapon po sa inyo. Government. Meron po ba tayong mga taga-government dito? Yan. Yan. Siyempre, mga estudyante. May academy, medyo mataas. Mga estudyante dyan, mga estudyante. Saka mga youth organizations, baka meron din. Pa-heart react naman po. Ayan. Okay. So, good to see everyone and let us proceed for today's Kamayan Forum. So, to officially open today's Kamayan Forum and set a direction for all of us, let us hear the opening remarks of the President of Green Convergence, the very energetic Ma'am Victoria Vicky Segovia. Makakalikasang araw, Miss Vicky.
Thank you, Dave. Makakalikasang hapon sa ating lahat. Today, there is a jeepney strike going on brought about by the prohibitive cost of gasoline and diesel, as pointed out already by Dave and Marian. Our economic situation is in disarray due to the energy crisis brought about by the war in the Middle East. Although we have nothing to do with this ongoing uncertain war, we experience its negative impacts on our personal lives and our society. The Kamayan Forum this afternoon opens the window of discussion on how our country should manage the problems caused by the oil crisis. What policies, laws, or strategies or opportunities should be employed to meet this challenge? Perhaps adopting renewable energy at this time is not just an environmental choice. It could be a practical strategy for energy security, cost stability, and resilience. Renewables like solar, wind, hydro, and biomass are locally available, predictable, and not tied to global fuel crisis. How is our society taking in all of the alternatives that we can have? What is the relevance of Republic Act 9513 or the Renewable Energy Act as we grapple our present-day problems? I am very happy to welcome and our guests for today, Ms. Gian Carla Canales Gutierrez of First Gen Corporation and Engineer Kenneth Morel Santos of Boscowitz Energy for sharing with us their valuable time, their expertise, and their sound ideas on how we can learn about this problem and how we can all help together to solve the crisis happening in our country, and not just in our country, but in the world today. So I welcome all of you. Thank you for being there. Take a deep breath, relax, be comfortable in your seats, and let us learn from our eminent speakers this afternoon. Makakalikasang hapon ulit at maraming salamat.
Thank you very much, Miss Vicky, for the insightful opening remarks. At syempre, ang dami nga namang renewable energy sa atin. Pero bakit hanggang ngayon parang problematic tayo sa crisis na ito? So yun ang kailangan nating alamin today. And we are thankful that we have speakers who agreed to join us today. At sana may matutunan po tayo. At later on, wag po kayong mahihiyang magtanong. Ayan. All right, thank you again, Miss Vicky. On over to you, Marian.
That's right. Thank you, Ms. Vicky and Sir David. Before we begin, reminding once again our participants on Zoom, to avoid any distracting ambient noise, we kindly ask everyone to keep your microphones on mute. This will help ensure that everyone can clearly hear our resource speakers. But of course, we still want to know your thoughts and reactions. Feel free to use the chat box to share your comments, reactions, and thoughts. We'll welcome them, keep an eye on them, and may even read some of them later on in the open forum. And also, feel free to turn on your cameras as well so we can help create a more interactive space. But if your bandwidth is limited, no pressure at all. We still appreciate you joining us today. So without further ado, let's begin, Sir David.
Okay, let's proceed to our first speaker. And thank you again for the reminders, Marian. So ayan, from crisis to opportunity, accelerating renewable energy ang ating team today. Marian, just to be brief everyone about the crisis we are experiencing today, we have to first understand that this is not the first time na may ganito pong crisis. This has happened before and there have been local responses then. Alam niyo, more than 5 decades ago, the 1973 oil crisis, which was also triggered by a conflict in the Gulf back then, shook the Philippines to its core. So na-surge din ang fuel prices, tumaas, nagtaasan ng interest rates, at everyday Filipinos continued to bear the cost of it all. Gaya nga po ng reflection sa isang commentary ni New Sec Rowena Cristina L. Guevara of the Department of Energy, which she wrote for Inquirer, this oil crisis push our country to confront a hard truth that we could not rely on imported energy forever. That we have to invest in our own natural resources such as hydro, geothermal, solar, and the others, not ones that rely on a shipping lane. Ngayon, na global tension are causing gas exports to the Strait of Hormuz to push back and somehow is rekindling that same crisis. We are reminded that this is not a new crisis for us Filipinos, but it is one we should know better now to face or are now actually better equipped to address. Sabi nga ni Yusek Ibarra, the challenge now is whether we finally act on it fast enough, and this is what we want to glance over sa kamayan natin this afternoon. No? Bakit nga ba parang may natutunan ba tayo ng mga nakaraang crisis at nandito na naman tayo? So yon yung sana ay may malaman tayo today.
Yes, Sir David. No, I did also read that commentary by Yusek Guevara. And the call was clear then po eh. And it's even clearer now. The difference today is that renewable energy is not entirely distant. We have the tools now and they are becoming more affordable and accessible every day. Solar costs have significantly declined. Investments in clean energy are growing, and the Philippines has laid down strong policy foundations. Yet, as highlighted in Yusek Guevara's commentary, a crucial challenge remains, which is delivering this energy to where it is needed and to who really needs it, efficiently and equitably. And quoting Yusek Guevara, there is a need to have a power system running on indigenous resources, but delays in infrastructure and gaps in coordination among agencies continue to limit the full benefits of renewable energy for Filipino households and communities. No, Sir David?
So yun, grabe talaga tong nangyayari sa atin, ano? Precisely, tumpak na tumpak, punto por punto, Marian. Kaya nga today, as we gather for this forum, let us draw inspiration from these insights and lessons at sana yan ang talagang ma-explore at mahanapan natin ng sagot today. Kasi minsan napapansin natin, parang may short-term memory loss yata tayo mga Pilipino, lalo na yung ating mga leaders. So, let us listen to our eminent speakers, reflect on the realities then and today, and work together toward practical solutions.